I want you to play a game with me, Ray.
I don't want to play a game.
Oh, please?
No.
I said...
Please. Boy, even my man like, God damn, you put your bottom jaw in there.
You gotta love it when a word is stretched out to 4 syllables.
Please. It's good to see Guy Ritchie, who built his name on gritty British gangster flicks. It's good to see him expand a little bit. Go out there and do a little something for the children.
Prince Ali, fabulous, he, Ali, Ababa. Now try your best to stay.
Yeah, these kids, I need to shoot somebody. You know, yeah, I mean, it was good, you know. Aladdin was good to me. I got to check. The kids were entertained. I was their hero.
Brush up your Friday salon.
But that should make you want to kill somebody.
Yeah. There's only so much of that you could take.
Yeah. Guy Ritchie said, let me get back out in these streety greets, man. Get real. Get back to my roots for what y'all love me for. And that is where we get into the Gentlemen. We got Matthew McConaughey over in jolly old England. Now he stars as Mickey Pearson. He comes from America. He went over to London for school. You know, he's going there to get a proper education in some of the best schools over there. But then he said, ain't nothing like this education out here in these streets, man. You know, these streets out here where I majored in business.
Mm-hmm. The business of selling drugs.
Yes, got a bachelor's in gangsterism and weed distribution. Business degree, Martin, over there. And business is good. He went over there and knew what he was doing. Next thing you know, he's on top of his game, you know, after killing a few people and making a name for himself.
Well, you know, you got to break a few eggs.
That's what you got to do. You got to break a few skulls if you want to be on top. Mm-hmm. He says, you know something, business is good, but by this point, old Mickey P says, you know something, this gangster shit, that's a young man's game out there. Yeah, I know some of these old heads still into it, but not me, man, not me. You know, I'm out, man. You know, I ain't really old. You know, I'm not really. I'm still pretty. I still look good and everything. I'm not really old.
I'm just too old for this.
But I'm too old for it, and I'm not really old. But you know what? I want to live like an old man. Mm-hmm. You know, all this crazy gangster shit, killing people and almost getting killed and all that stuff. That's not worth it, man. Let me move out. Not even to the burbs. Let me move out to the countryside. Sit on my ass, my old lady. You know, sniff flowers all day. That's the life that I want. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'm leaving at a time. I'm leaving at a time when, you know, in a few years over in London, you know, all this gangster shit ain't going to have to be necessary, at least not for weed, because it's going to be legal, and that's where the money really is going to be. Mm-hmm. But a lot of other people say, but you're doing this gangster shit now, and we want a piece of this. We want you to sell this empire to us, even if you don't want to sell it to us. We're going to get it one way or another. Y'all know how it is in these streety greets of Ritchie. Don't nobody leave the game smooth. Don't nobody just walk away. It don't work like that. You know, before it's all done, guns got to go off, bodies got to drop. That's the way we do it up here. And that is what is happening with old Mickey P as he tries to leave. Can he get out alive and actually live that dream life of just being a simple old man in the countryside sniffing flowers with his old lady?
Doesn't seem likely.
Doesn't seem likely. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for The Gentlemen.
I want you to play a game with me, Ray.
I don't want to play a game.
Oh, please?
No.
I said...
Please. Boy, even my man like, God damn, you put your bottom jaw in there.
You gotta love it when a word is stretched out to 4 syllables.
Please.
There's only one rule in this jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
I love the title of this.
Yeah.
The Gentlemen. Because there ain't a fucking gentleman in this movie at all. That's the most ironic title I've ever heard.
I mean, some of them dress like gentlemen.
They dress like gentlemen.
But they are not gentlemen.
They ain't nothing gentlemanly, ain't nothing gentle about it. It's all man. Ain't no gentleness in there at all. You know, it's not that it's not for lack of trying. You know, the gentleman aspect comes out more in them being businessmen.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's trying to be professional. You know, especially Matthew McConaughey, well, until you start But Matthew McConaughey, you know, he's trying to be professional and gentlemanly about this. He knows he has to have that demeanor about him because he goes around and pays London's elite for using their land so that he can grow his weed.
Yeah, no, he's studied. He's the master of the game.
Yep.
He's calm, cool, collected. He knows where to place his silverware, all the proper etiquette. It's just unfortunate that everybody else in the business that he deals with does not subscribe to that same ethos.
Yeah, they're just scum.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is too bad too, because this man hangs out with politicians and royalties, and as I said, the creme de la creme. This is a Guy Ritchie movie. Somebody gotta get stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta get stupid. As I said, when somebody gets stupid, they start up the program. Guns go up, bodies go down. People say, you know what? I tried to be a gentleman. I tried so hard to be a gentleman. But now you bringing out that goddamn gangster up in me.
Eyes not so dry now, are they?
You know what?
Damn, I'm surprised they gave you this clip. That's giving a lot away.
I like this dude though. I like this dude. He ain't even dead. He's just like, I ain't gonna say shit.
Right?
If
I just sit here.
Yeah, he just gave me a flesh wound, but I ain't gonna say a goddamn thing.
When the lion's hungry, he eats.
Or did it work out like that? You know, before I get into how this movie is structured, I do want to say that that clip tells you something about how much of Guy Ritchie's ego is in this movie. Because if you listen to the lines in that clip we just showed right now, you hear Matthew McConaughey going off on Henry Golding, who plays a character called Dry Eyes in the movie, and he's telling him, "I'm coming here talking to me about, you know, how the lion is gonna die and calling me silverback with more silver than back. Bitch, you don't know me." You know, it was a whole thing where Henry Golding came in and tried to say, "Hey, you're old. Law of the jungle is it's time for you to step aside or be killed and eaten and let the young lion take over." And he found out very quick how flawed that logic was. Or was it? But Matthew McConaughey plays probably the oldest gangster in the movie right now. Right here.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey's in his 50s. Guy Ritchie is now in his 50s. And if you look at it, man, seriously, it's almost like Guy Ritchie, he made Matthew McConaughey the coolest gangster in the movie, who's also the oldest gangster. Because Guy Ritchie's kind of like, you know, he's like, yeah, if I was a gangster right now, that's how I'd be. You know, that'd be me.
Or you got to put your British accent there.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be me, mate.
Okay. Never mind. Just you forget I said that.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be that guy. I'd be a total badass. I wouldn't be a cult. Authentic people. I studied, man. I studied a long time.
You start studying at Juilliard.
Yeah. It's like he's he's making these movies reflect his age. And he's making it reflect in a cool way, because at least that's what it seems like. Because if you notice the contrast here, like you know, the older guys know kind of what they're doing, except for a few dumbasses in here. But the older guys are smooth, they're professional, they know what they're doing. All the younger people
are arrogant,
are just dumbasses.
Yeah.
And they get those labels too. You know what they say about they because today when a person, a boomer or a little bit younger, is calling a person a millennial, they really, you know what they're really saying, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's how they describe Henry Golding in the movie.
Millennial firework.
Millennial firework. And then they got these dudes in here who are, and actually they're kind of badass, they're kind of cool, but they got these dudes in here who are like a fighting hip hop group called the Toddlers.
Yeah.
But even they fuck up.
Yeah.
They fuck up bad.
Yeah.
So it's almost like all the inexperienced younger guys, they're either arrogant, brash, or just complete fuck ups, and all the older guys are like, you know, we've been running this game for a while.
So where would you put Hugh Grant?
I got something for him. I'll tell you about it. Yeah. Because
he's not really a gangster.
He ain't no gangster, man.
Yeah.
He tried to be. Guy Ritchie got himself all over this movie, man. You know, whether he's like kind of projecting onto the coolest gangster in the film, or there's even one scene where they go see somebody and they got on the back wall a Man from Uncle poster.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And like, man, ain't nobody got a Man from Uncle poster on their wall except Guy Ritchie.
Except Guy Ritchie, yeah.
That's what he just put up. That looks great. You know, you hear the premise of what we just told before we even started. You look at this trailer right here. If you were watching, and it kind of sounds, I don't even mean this as a bad thing, but it sounds like it's starting to sound like every other Guy Ritchie movie that we've seen about gangsters.
Well,
out there.
at least his early movies.
His early movies. You know, I mean, you know, because with these movies, you know, you get a bunch of characters. Some of them, you know, they're kind of shady people. Or some of them they just got caught up. And the reason why they got caught up is because they were hanging around with shady people. They pissed off some big gangster, or they pissed off some rivals out there. Everything's a mess, and now they got to try to fix it, everything along the way. That's what made his movie Lock, Stock, and Barrel so much fun.
Held me off £1 million.
I'm going to give you 1 week to find it.
Yeah, that movie's great, man. That movie's great. And I tell you, he's the one guy that rode that Tarantino train, man, and actually did it right.
Exactly.
And did it right. I love Snatch. And these movies, look, man, it's hard not to think. I'm not in the room with Guy Ritchie when he writes this stuff, but it's hard not to think that he was not heavily influenced by Tarantino.
Well, he's as influenced by Tarantino as Tarantino is influenced by Martin Scorsese.
And everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, you know, it all goes around full circle. But, you know, these movies are kind of the same. So, listen, if you've seen a Guy Ritchie movie, then you probably have seen this in some form or another. Well, I'll tell you what he did. He says, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the same story, but this time I'm going to tell it 3 different times in the same movie. You know, it's almost like he took his rewrites or his drafts and just said, I ain't going to throw this shit away. This is good.
Yeah, this is gold.
Yeah, this is good.
What's wrong with you?
Even my trash is good. You know, the pages I wipe my ass with, that can be on the screen. You know, the script even makes a cameo in the movie.
Oh, that's right.
For the most part, I think he succeeds. You know, because I think with, you know, listen, what he's doing in this movie, it's a cheap-ass trick. And the reason why I say that is because he makes it more complicated than it really needs to be. And I'm not saying in a bad way, but he just takes it and just puts in the bag and just shakes that shit up.
Yeah, no, film it like that.
Yeah. All right, pick out a scene.
Let the audience figure it out.
All right, pick out a scene. Whatever scene we pick, that's what we filming first. And we're going in order, by the way. But here in the movie, everything's jumbled up, man. Everything's told from different perspectives. Everything's made to look more complicated than what it really is. Because if it weren't for that, we'd be out of this movie in probably about 40 minutes. You know,
I mean, it is a pretty straightforward story.
It's a straightforward story, except for the way it's being told. I mean, if they told it straightforward, this would be like an episode of a Netflix show or something. If they told it straightforward like that. Again, I'm not saying
but
that's
who
good or
wants
bad.
that?
Well, we don't, because we've seen it 5 times already with Guy Ritchie. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I tell you, mixing it up and also even doing the same thing, Guy Ritchie has always been more in love with his characters and his dialogue, I think, and the twist in the scripts and the actual stories sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
Because I think with all of them, the stories have been fairly simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
But it's just the way he shuffles the deck and gets so involved with the characters.
Yeah.
Is what makes him stand out.
He really, like I said, man, he riffs. Now, I ain't saying rip, but he's riffing on Tarantino's dialogue, and he loves writing. He loves writing that dialogue for those characters. When you do that, the characters have enough dialogue where you think he's riffing or ripping or doing whatever to Tarantino. The characters always work well off each other. I think. Story, you know, here's the proof right here. Story would not work. This story would not work as well if it weren't for the narrator.
Right.
Who's, as they say in the movie business, the unreliable.
Yeah, he's definitely unreliable.
We don't know if he's lying his ass off or telling the truth, but he just says...
Because he's got an angle.
But he tells the story well. We're talking about Hugh Grant, who plays Fletcher. Fletcher's just a little old slimy-ass private investigator. Yeah, he just digging up trash on people and, you know, and has aspirations. He's gonna get his ass in trouble. You ain't nothing but a peeping Tom. You think you're gonna compete with gangsters.
Go try to blackmail gangsters.
Yeah, going in blackmailing gangsters. And, you know, but I tell you, man, he is a great storyteller. And And like I said, you got to give this man credit for the nuts that he got on him.
I know.
For sitting up here just stone cold, just with these gangsters, man.
Just.
What is that? Is that barbecue as well? Isn't it? So that heats up your knees and cooks at the same time. You've got to show me how to get one of them.
Well, you can take it with you if you're off now.
You know, they give him so many opportunities. They give him so many hints.
So many opportunities to just walk away.
Just get the out of here.
But he is drinking that expensive scotch that's not his.
That is not. He just walked into somebody's home drinking their scotch and now sitting up here inviting himself to dinner.
Ray, is there any chance of a steak? Ow, mate.
It's hot.
How you gonna compete with gangsters? You don't even know when not to touch something when it's hot.
If you talk to a gangster and they calmly said, "Yeah, okay, just wait right there," wouldn't you expect him to come back with a shotgun?
Well, apparently old Fletcher was hungry, man. He said, "That's why goose steak, man. That's worth taking a risk over." Hugh Grant is great. Hugh Grant is really one of our greatest actors, man.
I was just gonna say that because everything you've been saying about this movie, I agree 110% that. It's just the way it's told.
Yeah.
That makes it, and the characters. But that Hugh Grant, that guy, I am so glad. This movie is full of guys who used to play handsome leading men who are just now going, man, f that. I want to be a character.
Yeah.
And Hugh Grant especially, he's almost my #1 guy of if he's in a movie, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Because he just tears it up in here.
Shit, that hoe got to him, man.
I know.
The hell with being handsome.
Right.
I better get right to start working.
But him just playing this character who's so slimy, and yet the way he's the narrator of the story, laying it out in his blackmail scheme, just hang on his every word. He just knew how to turn every phrase.
He knew how to tell the story, and it's great. Only complaint I would have about that character is that the character is, and I like the way they don't lay it out at first, but the character is gay. And I think that they kind of just too much use his gayness to enhance his sliminess.
I kept wondering if he was actually gay or if he was just doing like a Bugs Bunny where he's just using that to get under people's skin.
I think by the end of it, I thought like, because there are moments, and it's like that became part of his sleaziness, him being gay. Charlie Hunnam in there. Charlie Hunnam, who plays Matthew McConaughey's right-hand man. He's like, well, Fletcher, I'm going to bed. And he's like, maybe I'll crawl up there with you once you get in. And he's like, what the f wrong with you, man? Putting your hand on my knee, you know what I'm saying? Don't you know I'll kill you? And I was like, that's, I don't know if they needed to lay that on, like him just being that sleazy.
Well, he just seemed to be really pushing the whole, in his head, I got this information. I got you. I own you.
Yeah. I'm going to make you feel as uncomfortable as I can. You know what? I also like Charlie. I like Charlie Hunnam, man.
That's funny because I hate Charlie Hunnam in almost everything. But I just see him in stuff. I was like, man, this dude can't act. But Guy Ritchie is able to make him look like a decent actor with everybody else. I
liked him a lot in this. Thing about Charlie Hunnam's character is that it's his professional business demeanor. Like he's
the one who's really trying to keep it together. He's the one, he has to deal with the scummiest of the scum and some bungling henchmen sometimes. And he's just trying to just stay professional.
I love it that there's with him, he's trying to be as calm. He's trying his best. He says, we are not those kind of gangsters. We are businessmen first. Killing people only get us in trouble. He tries his best to not use violence as a solution, but there's always that one motherfucker who wants to push him.
Gonna need those phones.
He's dealing with kids and other dudes and like little these punks who just want to like push him, man. And it made me laugh. I like that character. I just like the character a lot because the character's always, him and Matthew McConaughey, Mickey P. They're always trying to use professionalism before, going in and having to be gangsters.
Yeah.
I like that character a lot, man. It's cool to see Henry Golden. Henry Golden play a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's having a lot of fun in this role right here, man. I mean, that's one thing I can say about So one thing I can say about Guy Ritchie movie, it looks like everybody's gonna have fun. You know, there's one or two movies that are like, okay, well, this ain't fun at all. I can tell nobody's having fun working on this.
Yeah.
But these movies, man, where you get these exaggerated characters, you could tell this guy he was having a great time, man. And when I say he's bad, he's bad. Like he goes to points where I was like, God damn, you ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's just so, I don't know, young and hungry, and just thinks he's more than what he is.
And just don't know when to shut the f up. Yeah. My favorite character though was Colin Farrell, man.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell.
I mean, he's second because Hugh Grant's first, but Colin Farrell was a close second.
Yeah.
Coach.
You know, he's a boxing coach, creatively named Coach. In the film. The reason why I liked him because he's the most relatable character. I think he's the least exaggerated character. He does as far as at least doing the least posturing because he's you feel for him because he just got mixed up in things. Man, he lets it be known like, look, I ain't no gangster. I'm just out here trying to get these kids off these streets. I'm trying to keep them from becoming gangsters. I'm looking out for my boys. Yeah, they're stupid. They f***ed up. Y'all gonna probably kill them. But can I come in and just say something
and try to make it right?
Try to make it right. He's he's honorable. You really do like him, and because of that, and he's just like man, he didn't want none of this shit. But he does have some of the funniest lines in the movie, being that he's one of the most down to earth and average characters in the film.
His name is Fahak, but spelled with a PH, so it sounds like Fahak.
I need that, please!
All right, Fahak, calm the Fahak down.
I will say this. Some Asian people might take offense to how a lot of the Asians are portrayed in the film because they're going up against a rival Asian gang, and they use a lot of slurs and and descriptions like you heard Matthew McConaughey, you duck eating, and there's a point where it gets to like, are we doing this because it feels authentic? Are we crossing over that Tarantino level where it's like, well, I'm just doing this because it seems like it's badass? I would understand if Asian people got offended by it. It's especially when you consider the outcome of the film. I would say that the character, surprisingly, the character I liked the least was this guy here, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, he's the least dynamic of them.
Yeah, and I think it's because they tried to make him the coolest. But this Matthew McConaughey, he's a Texas dude in London. They could have. Look, I ain't gonna tell nobody how to make that movie, but I felt like they could have amped that up a little bit.
Well, they just didn't seem to want to go Texas. It's like it's written for just an American. It could have been, it could have been Chris Pine. They hired for this role.
And when I say boy from Texas or guy from Texas, I don't even mean he has to play up Texas. It's just like, man, Matthew McConaughey has a real outgoing personality.
Sure.
And that really would have worked well, with him being, I know he's hanging out with a lot of people. He has to be cool. Yeah. But I thought they could have made him a little more charismatic. He's a little too cool to where it's just like he's being overshadowed by these other characters.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I get that somewhat because he is the least dynamic of everybody.
Yeah, he's not that he's bad. He's not bad.
No, he's not bad. It's just, I wonder how much of that you go like, all right, you got to have a balance. Like, if you got everybody firing on 9 or 10, then shit is just crazy.
Yeah,
but by being pulled back, he becomes the thing that centers everybody.
Yeah,
and it's really all playing around him.
Yeah. No, I mean. Not that I hated the character. I was like, man, this is gonna. I'm just before it was just, as it goes along. I'm like, okay, this is cool. He's doing some things like I said. Usually you see him capping on people, but it's like, man, with this cool demeanor, it's just like, man, there's really not a lot of life in that character, personality, not the least of all the personalities right there. Something that I'm missing.
I was a big fan of the toddlers. Matter of fact. Like before when we saw the screening, Tim League, who owns Alamo Drafthouse, he came out in this plaid tracksuit and looked awful. He looked like a clown. And he's like, well, when you see the movie, it'll make sense. And when those guys, the toddlers came out in theirs, I was like,
oh shit! I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
I was just like, oh well, shit. They make this look good.
Yeah, well, that's because Tim Lee can't fight. Tim Lee can't do that shit right now. Maybe he can. I don't know, but he didn't do it with
authentic. It didn't have the stripes down or anything. It just looked like a cheap knockoff.
Oh yeah.
But what they were wearing, that plaid tracksuit, I was like, shit, I'd wear that in a hot minute.
And learn how to beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. No. They, you know, they had one of these turns where they come in and they go, and you go, oh shit, oh man, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
And it plays out in a way I was like, okay, I did not see things going that way, and I felt like that happened quite often throughout the film.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Where you go like, oh, I've seen these Guy Ritchie movies, I can predict it. It's like, no, not always.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm enjoying all of it, and I'm having a lot of fun. But with this, you know, Guy Ritchie has been known to like go crazy and bring all his stuff together. When, you know, everything kind of wraps up. It might be a little crazy, but it wraps up somehow. This one's crazy for me. This one is where, even though he repeats some of these themes, and you know, I'm liking it, and everything's cool. This right here, it's you know, because what I like is that he creates these worlds that are fun to explore. You know, it's fun to hang around with these guys, even though, you know, like I said, a lot of shady people. It's fun hanging around these characters, man. It's fun being part of this world. Guy Ritchie definitely distincts. He creates a distinct world. If these people weren't played by the same character in some movies, this could all be one universe.
Right.
But, you know, even when he's made them crazy and make things complicated, they all come together somehow at the end, even if it's in a wild way. With this one, I think he made it a little too complicated. There were so many why, what, and hows at the end of this. Like things that should be logical. Like, why are people discussing secrets in the biggest stadium full of all these people around them, where anybody can hear? And they ain't even being that like that quiet about it. They ain't sitting up in those special section or anything. Like they're sitting around people. You know, there were other things like, where did these people get these guns all of a sudden to do this thing? Oh, these characters right here, they just came in because we needed like a small twist near the end of the film. I'm not gonna say what characters they are, of course, but you know, things just kind of happen at the end. Things really just start to just pop in, you know, near the end. I'm just like, and I'm like, man, some of this stuff at the end is just stupid. Like, it don't even make sense. I mean, it's fun and everything, but man, you kind of wrote yourself into a corner with all these complications, and none of it is coming together. The movie's fun enough to where the ending can be fun if you don't think about it at all. The moment your brain starts to, but shut up, stop. I want to enjoy myself.
I'm gonna ask you to leave. If you're gonna do that.
I couldn't really do that myself. You know, it's not that I hate the movie, but I thought, man, for a movie that was kind of creating all these twists, man, have something to connect everything together, because this shit is just happening for the sake of just like ending things now. I believe that really got to me. Like, man, you know, you're gonna sit out here with this big twist and this big secret, these people working together, and you're gonna sit up here and have all this conversation in front of people. That's a dumb piece of writing to me. But anyway, go ahead.
No. I mean, what you're saying isn't wrong. It's just that by that time I was so immersed in having fun and laughing with it that I was like, all right, we are speeding things along to make this come together. But what happens with I guess the very end was enough to wrap it up for me.
I will tell you this though, movie's stylish. The movie's very stylish, from the clothes to the set design, costume design to set design. It's a great contrast against a lot of the grittier street level movies that Guy Ritchie has done before. You watch this, man.
It's a higher class of criminal.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. You know, you watch this and you're going to want both a pint and a cocktail.
Yeah, right?
See, we got drunk as watching this movie. Because it just seems like you just need to be sipping on something. Don't go in if you just stop drinking, or if you're an alcoholic and you just quit, because the movie's going to want to make you like, man, I got to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Who I did like was, what is her name? Downton
Michelle,
Abbey.
Dockery?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Kate Beckinsale, but
that was what happened.
I don't know, but they switched them out. I mean,
that's too bad. But you know, hey, cool. She was good.
Yeah, she was good.
She got a Cockney on for this movie, man. And you know, the scenes with her and Matthew McConaughey are really good. That's when I thought he was better.
Yeah. Well, because most of the time when he wasn't with her, he was by himself, or just talking to characters who weren't really characters.
Yeah. But when he got with her, they were good together, man. I thought. Yeah. But damn, you know, I mean, he knows how to. As I said, man, it's just like with Hugh Grant. He knows how to tell an entertaining story. Doesn't always work, but it's nothing that's gonna ever lose your attention, and you will have fun with it. It is a lot of fun. So yeah, I give this a low matinee.
So I didn't know what to think going into this because it's a January movie.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie's track record hadn't been so great, even though, you know, and I know he knows gangsters, but man, she's just going to give us the same movie again. And you had seen some of it and you were like, I don't know about this. But I had a blast. I was shocked by how much fun I was having. And you're right about the sloppiness, at least, you know, plot-wise.
With the writing and anything.
Yeah. At the end, but it's so often with a comedy where I'm like, man, if you've kept me this entertained this far, I know at the end I'm not expecting things to, you know, dotted I's and crossed T's. But it all flowed to what, you know what, it came together because of Hugh Grant at the end that wrapped it up just fine for me. I feel like this and Bad Boys has broken that January curse where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to always just assume January has nothing but bad movies. This was a low full price for me.
Chat called it too. They said, I'm looking at somebody in the chat, they said, just say it, goddammit, low full price. Okay. No, I put the just say it. No, they called it though. Look at that. He proud too. Boom! Told you. They're taking bets on you, Martin. Oh, somebody gonna lose their life over this betting on you, Martin.
I know.
But over here on DTmerch.com, we got the size that fits all, man. We got all that toasted goodness for different body shapes over there. We don't discriminate against anyone for that classic black tee with the white logo. We know it's in demand. We know who are we to deny people that toasted goodness like that? Many sizes. If you got a big ass body, that means you got big ass feet. We can fit those too with those slides that we have right there. Got a big ass head too. Hey, we can fit that too.